Hello and welcome to Blytheway Business News. Today I'm joined by Andy Morrison, who's chairman of Spinnaker Opportunities. Now, Spinnaker is a shell listed on the main board of the London Stock Exchange, but as I hope Andy is about to tell us, they've got exciting plans ahead. Andy, welcome back onto Blytheway Business News. Give us a quick overview, please. What is Spinnaker up to right now?
Hello, Tim. It's good to be back. We are a cash shell, as you mentioned. We're pioneering the medicinal cannabis sector and CBD wellness sector on the London Stock Exchange. We're trying to be amongst the first companies to bring such a business to the market. We've identified a business which is called Cannibal Research, and we're looking to complete the acquisition as soon as we possibly can.
Now, there have been a number of companies over the last few years tried to list in London, following the amazing boom which both recreational and medicinal cannabis saw in the Canadian Stock Exchange. But there have been some hold-ups, as we all know, and I understand that recently the Financial Conduct Authority has published new guidance on admitting cannabis companies to the official list. Give us a quick overview of what the FCA have done and what does it mean for Spinnaker, and then we'll talk about Cannibal in a moment.
Well, you're right. They made an announcement, the FCA, on the 18th of September, setting out rather briefly how they were going to proceed. The main concern that they've had over the year that we've been waiting, effectively, or 9 to 12 months that we've been waiting, the main concern has been around the UK's Proceeds of Crime Act, and the Misuse of Drugs Act, which they want to make sure, of course, that issuers are not involved in that at all, but for their own benefit and also for investors. Following the legalisation of medical cannabis in November 2019, they have now concluded that medicinal cannabis and CBD wellness are okay. They've also said that they will not admit any companies that are engaged at all in recreational or adult use cannabis. In the UK, the regulatory system is known, and therefore the path for UK companies is clear, completely clear. Where it comes to overseas companies, they need to satisfy themselves that the regulation of the market in which the companies are operating is broadly equivalent to the UK.
Okay, so that sounds very positive news. Essentially, the Financial Conduct Authority giving the green light for you to go ahead with this transaction with Cannibal Research. Give us, please, some background on Cannibal. What do they do?
So Cannibal is a research and marketing company. Its lead products, the main products which will be coming to market, are oils for vaporization and a device for controlled delivery of those vaporized oils to the body. And so it's a company that has its foundation in research and medical science. And we're looking to professionalize the whole industry as best we can and to bring those products to market. We'll be starting with CBD wellness products, and later on, as we continue our research, we'll bring medicinal cannabis products which contain a proportion of the active THC component in those markets and under those circumstances where they're completely legal.
And worth stressing for viewers and for potential investors, this is entirely medicinal wellness cannabis, Andy, is that right?
The initial products are CBD wellness. Now, CBD market is already well established in the UK and in Germany, which are our target markets. And those products are lightly regulated, really. There's very little regulation because they don't contain any drug component, any narcotic components. The products that contain THC, they will come later. They're in the research phase, but they're not yet marketed.
Okay, so you're now steaming ahead, moving ahead with the transaction, which will see Cannibal listed in London. Once it is listed, what are the next steps? And are you going to be subject to these the novel food regulations that exist?
One thing to note for your listeners actually is that the FCA only has a formal role in this when it comes to the admission of companies. Once we're on the market, it's up to us to remain completely legal and to satisfy all the conditions. So, you may want some people may wonder why there are one or two companies already on the market that have not sort of in the same situation of delay that we've faced. And it's because we need to do a prospectus. We need to come to the market, and that's why we're dealing with the FCA. Once we're on the market, our main objective is to use the capital that we're going to raise to be able to advance the business plan and to roll out the sales and marketing and do the additional research that we need to expand the business that's been on hold, if you like, while we've been waiting.
Okay, so next steps look very exciting. I guess we're looking over a few months before this actually gets onto the market. Once you are listed, once Cannibal is listed and the shares are trading in London, what do you think the long-term future looks like on the London market for Spinnaker, Cannibal, and the various other medicinal cannabis companies which are coming to or are listed on the London Exchange? What does the market look like for you, over the coming years, I suppose?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I would say that the force of gravity is with us on that. I think consumers are looking for more natural remedies. There are more and more people who are trying out CBD products and feeling the benefits of those products for long-term pain management, chronic pain management, for example, and for anxieties. And some people's anxieties, of course, have been made worse during the COVID-19 situation that we've been facing throughout this year. So I think gaining access to the public markets for cannabis-related companies will really help to professionalize the industry and to bring capital to the industry that can then be deployed to make new products and make them better and more effective for customers. And I think over time we will see the industry start to coexist a little bit with the traditional pharmaceutical industry. So we'll see more products coming from the pharmaceutical companies themselves. We'll see more professionalization of the CBD and medical cannabis products that look more like medicines, if you like, and are delivered more like medicines. So I think that's something which we can all see in the future could be beneficial to consumers. So overall, I would say that I see a bright future for the sector, and I think whatever your views on COVID-19 and Brexit might be, for example, we're going to need new engines of growth in this country, and I think that this can be a really major industry, as it has started to become in North America, and I think the UK can play a very leading role in it. We're looking forward to being a part of that.
Thank you, Andy. That was Andy Morrison, Chairman of Spinnaker Opportunities, updating us on the transaction with Cannibal as they are now bringing this new medicinal cannabis company to list on the London Stock Exchange. And as Andy said, probably opening up a whole new sector of companies on the stock exchange as medicinal cannabis companies start to list themselves in London. That's all from Belgravia Business News for today. Thank you for watching.